Kraken Pod Fam, what the fuck is going on? Holy shit, we are back. I mean, it's all right, Kraken Pod After Dark. It had to happen. I am pumped. It has been a hot minute. I'll get into why we haven't done it in a couple of months, but whatever. Doesn't matter right now. Last game of the season, the 2023-2024 Seattle Kraken season is a wrap. And as much as this season sucked, good vibes only, we ended it on a positive note. Man, it's so bittersweet. It's like, fuck, where were these dudes all year long? But whatever. It doesn't matter. Not going to focus on that right now because the boys just played awesome and the season's over. I mean, just like that. I mean, I feel like you blink and 82 games goes by, which is insane because at multiple points throughout the season, it was long. Bringing back some stuff from the Kraken Pod After Dark that we have not done in a hot minute. Our girl Megan from Australia checking in. It's 11:45 Friday in Australia. Shout out to the Squid Squad. That's amazing. It's been a hot minute since we've done this. It is so great to be able to hop back on, and we still have some of the same folks. So I'm just going to leave that up, actually. Let me just leave this up. So shout out to Megan checking in from Australia. That just makes me so fucking pumped. And you know what? Like, the season's over. So let's talk about, like, the season in general. And overall, like, give me your thoughts. Give me your feelings. Give me your comments. Like, let's talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about because there's no real point in talking about this game. We're gonna talk about the season. I mean, the season's a wrap. It's over. The Kraken are not making the playoffs. Who are you rooting for in the playoffs? I want to know who you are rooting for in the playoffs. I want to know why. I want to know who you hate to root against. Like, what team do you watch hoping that they just get destroyed and shellacked on national television and their fan base and the players get embarrassed? Like, give me all that tea. So I'm here for it. I am just. Yeah, again, I cannot believe that this season is over, this quickly. Really quick, for those that do not know, me and Jeff are crazy people. We keep the podcast going throughout the offseason. Now, it might not be every single week. We might take a week or two off, but the Kraken Pod rolls through the offseason. We keep coming with the content, so we're gonna keep coming. Don't y'all worry. We're not going to disappear. We really don't take any breaks, even though honestly we should because your boy's tired, but we're going to figure it out. So anyways, let's talk about this season. Let's talk about your thoughts and feelings on it. Let's talk about who you're rooting for in the playoffs. Let's talk about who you're rooting against in the playoffs. Like, let's just get this thing going. I'm just pumped that I'm doing Kraken Pod After Dark again. It's just, it's been a couple of months. And you know what? I'll just say it really quick. Right now, we can just kind of rip this Band-Aid off. The reason why I stopped doing it is because it was just too late. I mean, like, legitimately, people in the house are sleeping. Games aren't getting over local time. Us being in, Louisiana, games aren't ending until 12:31 in the morning. And, it just became not feasible with, like, doing that. And then by the time I would, like, wind down from it and, like, the adrenaline would shut off, it's 2 a.m. and then I get up and I'm just gassed all day long. So anyways, we're gonna figure it out moving forward because I honestly love doing this. It's fucking hard when we're 2 hours ahead of puck drop. And, sometimes it gets delayed and puck drops at 9:15, 9:30 for us. I'm like, oh shit, here we go again. Anyways, doesn't matter. That's why we took a break for a little bit. I just had to get my energy back because it just wasn't happening. And also, the boys sucked. I mean, for the most part, this season, the Kraken were not a good team. And you know what's really hard? Staying up until, 12:31 in the morning on a weeknight, watching the Kraken just get the brakes beat off of them, just to be like, oh, can't wait to go on YouTube afterwards until 1:30 in the morning. Like, it's just not happening. So I love this from Megan. She's like, yeah, welcome to my world. I'm 17 plus hours ahead. So yeah, I feel you. Again, if anybody missed it, Megan has been checking in for Kraken Pod After Dark and has not missed a beat. And everyone has asked, including myself, what time is it? What time is it? Every time she says she's in Australia. So every time we've done Kraken Pod After Dark now, it has become tradition where Megan gives us the time. So 11:49 Friday in Australia right now. So for those wondering, that is her time zone. All right, we're done. I did the intros. Let's get into it. Let's get into your Kraken Pod After Dark. I almost said Kraken reaction. By the way, I'm not sure if Jeff is going to be able to come on. He might be able to. Yeah, he knows that I'm doing this. I shot him a text. I was like, yo, man, I'm going on. No pressure. Last game of the season. We're doing this shit. So anyways, I'm just going to go down comment by comment. And please, everybody, whatever you want to talk about, drop it in here. Let's go. Also, if you're here, do the thing and like thumbs up this and like leave a comment or whatever. It helps with the, I don't fucking know. Just, it helps us out. All right, moving on. Melissa, dude, just shout out Melissa, just all-time Kraken Pod Fam member. Yeah, this was a great end to the season. And it ended honestly, aside from them, not going to the playoffs is the best way it could have ended. And I'm not sure if I'm calling out Melissa, if this is something that she wants me to do, but I'm going to do it anyways. Melissa is so fucking nice that she just sends me and Jeff merchandise just because she's a nice person. And it's like, hey, I want you guys to have some stuff because you're not in Seattle and you covered the Kraken. So Melissa, I just saw a DM like right before puck drop tonight where she's like, hey, I have a John Forsland bobblehead with your name on it. Give me an address and it's yours. So like, that's just like emblematic of just how awesome Melissa is. So I just wanted to say thank you to her because Melissa is just another, like a representation of the Kraken Pod fam. Like y'all are fucking awesome. I mean, legitimately. And I'm not going to lie. This season was tough because again, when the boys are not good and, me and Jeff are working 24/7 the majority of the time on other things outside of the Kraken Pod. And so, doing this it can be a lot. And so, it's hard, but at the end of the day, like everyone's support is, and it's cliche, and I've said it a ton of times, it is the reason why we have kept going. Like everyone being so supportive and just so awesome and encouraging. And I'm like, we got to keep this shit rolling. Like we're going to keep the Kraken Pod rolling because of y'all. So shout out to the Kraken Pod fam. Y'all are great. And of course, shout out to Melissa. For James, also OG Kraken Pod member, dude. How about Yanni fucking Gord tonight? How about Yanni Gord and rocking the Yanni jersey? So he was, James, dude, you're bringing the good vibes to this game. Yanni ends up with 2 shorthanded goals on the night and 2 goals in the game, which is just fantastic. And switching gears from Yanni really quick, I know I had my concerns, and we talked about this on the podcast. And by the way, the episode that's out now, I know that things have kind of died down because the season has not been that good of a season. The episode that we just came out with 2 days ago, if you haven't listened yet, I really encourage you to do so. That's not me being like, listen because we want numbers. Like, I don't give a shit about that. I'm telling you to listen because it's legitimately one of my favorite episodes we have ever done. And Jeff and I had a very unprompted, unplanned conversation about the future of the franchise on things that like not only have him and I never discussed, but I haven't heard anyone discussing. And I actually think that we might be onto something. That's all I'm going to say. Please listen to the episode. Yeah. So yeah, anyways, if you've listened to it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We have some takes on the season. I'm excited. By the way, I'm also working on lining up some interviews coming up real shortly here to wrap up not only the Seattle Kraken season, but do playoff picks and do it with like some really cool media personalities. So we're still fucking rolling. We're going to keep this thing rolling throughout the playoffs, into the off season, and the whole deal. And by the way, I'll give a little bit of a teaser because it relates to the last podcast episode. Jeff and I believe that this offseason is about to be a massive one for the Seattle Kraken. That's all I'm going to say. Listen to the episode and you know what I'm talking about. All right, moving on. Shout out to James. What up, Josh? Long time no see, man. Yeah, I've missed everyone too. It's been really hard not doing Kraken Pod After Dark, but when you're just beat from working all the time, it is what it is. But no, I appreciate it. And also everyone's been really understanding of it. Haven't had a single person be like, this is bullshit. You guys are doing it. And now you're not. Like, everyone's been cool. It's really hard. You know what? Honestly, it just got to a point one day where Jeff and I are like actually making money on doing this. And it made sense. I would be like, bro, we're making money on the podcast now instead of like just giving our money and time for it because we just enjoy doing it. Like, I'm doing Kraken Pod After Dark. Like, I'll put everything into it, but right now it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, dude, it feels good to be back. I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate y'all for understanding. Okay. I did not know who got in the way here, so I appreciate you, Austin, for the comment on Boldy getting in the way. Is that confirmed? I don't have the post game report right now. Can anyone else confirm that was Matt Boldy who got in the way of Joey Decord going for the goalie goal at the end there? That's what it looked like was about to happen, and I got so pumped up. I mean, holy shit. Also, Bro Joey podcast. Been shouting that from the fucking mountaintop since day one. I mean, how about Joey Decord? First off, no, he gave up 2 goals tonight. Minnesota's a good team. Dude stood on his head. Dude statistically is a top 5/top 10 goalie in the entire league, depending on what statistics you are looking at. Joey Decord is the future of the Seattle Kraken. I mean, he is that dude. And how can you not love him and his style of play? And the fact that tonight he was like, fuck it, we ball. And it was just like, I'm going to try to score a goal. I mean, he is that dude. So I absolutely loved it. If it was Boldy that got in the way, whoever did, I hate it because let the man score and do his thing, which I get it. It's a pride thing. I mean, listen, if this were reversed and it's happening like against the Seattle Kraken, I would hope that one of our boys got in the way and stopped that puck. Speaking of stopping that puck, how about Turbo laying his body on the line and taking one last shot, like just a straight up body shot at the end of the game there to almost probably save a goal against the Seattle Kraken. Like that's, he's had an interesting season because he hasn't been all that productive, and he has like that Tasmanian Devil style of hockey, and he's kind of polarizing. Like you either hate his play or you love his play. You can't ever deny what he means to the team and what he means to the locker room. But there's been a lot of shit going around about like how Turbo's not going to come back and whatnot. But hey, listen, at the end of the day, I just thought like if that's his last moment as a Seattle Kraken, like we're not going to forget that. That was pretty cool. I thought Kevin Weeks was going to jump out of the booth. Yeah, I thought that was going into. I thought Joey Decord was going to score that goal. All right, I did not catch this, so shout out to Megan because again, as soon as the game wraps, I hop on here and I kind of get set up to do Kraken Pod After Dark. Did anyone else? Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust this really quick. Did anyone else catch Hack after the game? Did he just look beat? I mean, listen, this is a long season. Regardless of whether or not you make the playoffs, like 82 games, plus, like, can you imagine everything that's going on in the organization, everything that you have to deal with that's going on inside the locker room, everything that you have to deal with that's coming down from the front office is being put on your shoulders, everything that you're dealing with that's coming from the media. I'm not going to say me and Jeff because, like, whatever, we are who we are, but like traditional sports media, right? Like talking about Dave Haxtell on the hot seat. Like, can you imagine having all of that pressure and also the 82 games? I mean, listen, I'm not going to boo-hoo. I mean, this guy, they make a lot of money. But it's a lot. It's a big responsibility. All right, let me get something to drink so I don't lose my voice. 1 second. Oh, damn. That's that liquid IV. I don't have any beers in this house, so it is what it is. Where is this effort when we had a chance? I started to say that too. And here's my thing. Not going to dwell on it because it is what it is. Like the season's over. But I do agree, and here's the thing. The team is capable of playing like this. I do think this offseason is going to be a big one. So I'm with you there. There is some frustration for sure. Joey is such a stud. Yeah, all Joeys are studs. Everyone knows that. Pro Joey podcast. Yes, we are pumped for this. So, okay. Let me talk about what this comment right here about for the DraftKings Futures episodes. So, betting on in sports in general is really difficult. They make it seem like it's easy. Well, it's not, because there's a reason why these companies are multi-billion-dollar companies. And the more, like when you do parlays, like the more you kind of group things together makes it a little bit more challenging for you to win. I mean, the fact that Jeff hits as much as he does is kind of fucking absurd. But one area, I mean, like, and hockey is really hard to bet, and I've talked about this in previous actual podcast episodes. I don't need to go into detail on it right now. Now, what I will say is that while it is hard to bet, futures bets are in mine and Jeff's opinion where the money is. If you watch this sport as much as we do and pay attention to what's going on in the league and who's doing what and the moves that are happening, if you are okay with putting a little bit of money up and waiting for that bet to hit, a futures bet is a bet that you place now for something that could happen in the future, hence the word futures. So 2 years ago now, or the season before last, Jeff and I were, I mean, and it's all, we talk about every episode. We have a read for them. We're sponsored by DraftKings. We were looking at the odds for Matty Beniers to win Rookie of the Year. And this is like way early in the offseason before that season started. I forget what the odds were, but they were pretty good. Jeff and I made money on it, and it was nice. And I say that like we're fucking millionaires now. I mean, like $500. But that's not a small amount. And I was pumped. And I was not only pumped because I was like, well, this is the easiest bet of all time. As long as he stays healthy, knock on wood, like Matty Beniers is running away with the Rookie of the Year award. Now, for whatever reason, like these, in my opinion, these applications, these websites, like a DraftKings and all that, I won't name the others because, I'm a corporate boy. I don't feel like they've caught on to like the hockey's futures bets. So you can get really good futures bets, like really good odds on things that you can feel pretty confident about, like the Matty Beniers Rookie of the Year. Again, I forgot what the odds were. They were really good. And Jeff and I hopped on that. And not only did we hop on it, we were like beating the drum, being like, if you are okay with putting up and we're not telling you to do or not do this, but I'm just telling you, you should take a look at this, and you should, if you got a little bit of extra laying around, you can, and it hit. And what was great was when Matty won Rookie of the Year, the number of people that were reaching out to us being like, dude, thank you guys, was a cool feeling. Now, this hasn't happened. I'm not sure if Jeff is going to hit. I think he has pretty good odds of it. A futures bet that we were really heavy on this year, and by we, I mean Jeff was the one that caught this. The Coach of the Year award, which will happen in the very near future. Jeff has Rick Tocchet. I mean, Rick Tocchet, if y'all remember, he was on the TNT broadcast. He gets brought in by the Canucks, and look what Vancouver has done. Look at the turnaround they have had this season. And it's, in large part because of look at the things that Rick Tocchet has done for that team. I don't remember what the odds were again, but like Jeff got in and got some good odds and was like, hey, you guys should be looking at these things. So we've been catching these and we've been sharing them. And so what we're going to do is, we're going to do it this off season, but we're going to do a futures bet for the 2024-2025 season. So things for people to look and keep an eye out on, because if you want to, have a little fun, throw some money around, like there's things that you can pay attention to. So that's what the futures episode is going to be on. Again, this is not us telling you what to do or not to do with your money or anything like that. We're just going to have fun with it. We're going to look at, what these websites and applications have listed in turn for the world of hockey. And we're going to see if some stuff makes sense and hopefully, make some money in the process. All right, moving on. I love this. All right. So Josh has Dallas to take the cup, to just to our own horn. But in our last episode, we did playoff picks and I took Dallas over Las Vegas. Now, am I doing that because I hate Las Vegas? Maybe. But I really do believe that Dallas has the talent to surprise Las Vegas. And I mean, if you want to talk about like a goalie getting hot, like what if Ottinger gets hot and they ride that shit all the way to the Stanley Cup final? Anything can happen now we're at that point in the season. I am beyond excited for it. But yeah, I'm with you, man. They are in a great position because they are in a position where not a lot of people are talking about them, but that is a really good team. And that's like being really famous. No, that's like being really rich for something you've done publicly, but no one ever recognizes you. So you can still like walk around and go to restaurants. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the position that they are in. That's exactly, it's like the opposite of the Rangers, where like everywhere you go, everyone knows your name and you're doing your thing. By the way, I think I picked the Rangers to win it all. Round of applause for Joey Kraken Pod. I was gonna spin Nirvana Unplugged on vinyl and cry myself to sleep if they lost. Dude, all right, hold on. I gotta talk about Nirvana Unplugged for a second now. Hold up. Ooh, that Liquid IV. We need to get Liquid IV as a sponsor. And that's the big thing we're working on this offseason, by the way, is like Jeff and I are actively reaching out, being like, yo, you need to sponsor our podcast. Mostly because we want to make money from doing this, because we've been doing it for 3 years. All right. How about Nirvana Unplugged being the best Unplugged set of all time? I still watch that video regularly of that performance that they did. I mean, all-time performance. So listen, brother, like if you're going to cry yourself to sleep, there's a lot worse things you could be listening to. So, you know, I'm not encouraging, this sad ass behavior, but hey, man, you could be listening to a lot worse. Now, fortunately for everyone, including you mostly, you do not have to do that because the boys fucking won tonight. They went off, they went out on a good note. As hard as this season was, you know it, and I know it. It felt fucking good for the boys to get this win. So, shout out to the Seattle Kraken. And yeah, man, you don't have to thank me for doing Kraken Pod After Dark. I'm happy to do it. It's also only 9:00 over here. So yeah, it's all good. But yeah, man, I'm happy to do it. Also, you should just listen to Nirvana Unplugged soon. Just because I love this. So Megan from Australia has the Canucks taking it all, or I wouldn't be upset if they did, rather. She's not picking them necessarily. So again, whatever time, or not whatever time. Sorry, I was reading another comment from Megan here. Whatever takes y'all have for the playoffs, please lay them on me, because I'm just I love reading this stuff. But yeah, Canucks taking it all. I don't think it's going to happen. Jeff, I think, went full fucking Canadian on me because he has like Leafs and Canucks in the Stanley Cup final. I don't believe that's going to happen at all. I think I actually have the Leafs losing in the first round. But that's just me, betting on, I don't know, history repeating itself. So I think I have the Canucks getting out of the first round, losing in the second. You can fucking take that shit to the bank. In fact, if that happens, I'm going to fucking screen record myself saying this now and then bring it back just to talk shit to Jeff. All right. What up, crispy boy? Great way to end the season. Can't wait to see Wright for a full season. And dude, okay. I love this. Like, he looks so good, and he just looks like a completely different dude and a completely different player. And it's all about the confidence. And I'm telling you right now, a confident man does not rock that beard. He's got a confidence beard, and it looks fucking good on him. Did I say it kind of looks like when a little kid puts on his dad's coat, pretends to be an adult? Maybe, but it still looks, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, no, Shane Wright looks awesome. The kid's all right. We're pumped. He's going to be on the Seattle Kraken roster day one. It has to happen. It's time. He's ready. Another roster note, Ty Karche is not going back down to the AHL again. It's not happening. That dude's earned a full-time roster spot. That's going to be fun to watch. And can we talk about Matty Beers for fucking Beniers? Let's talk about Matty Beniers. I'm concerned. Jeff's concerned. The fan base is concerned. The Kraken Pod fam is concerned. Media not really paying attention because no one really talks about the Seattle Kraken outside of our local media. And how about Matty Beniers having 17 points in his last 25 games? I mean, the dude went on an absolute heater. How about that tip-in goal that he had tonight? I mean, listen, we are all worried. A sophomore slump is real. But if I'm being Jeff Lasso right now, I'm being optimistic. I'm looking at how Matty ended the last quarter of the season, and I'm really fucking excited because that's the dude that we know. We know that the skill set is there. It doesn't just disappear. And for him to wrap up the season like that, I think he takes that momentum into the offseason and he uses it to like train himself like fucking Rocky, just chugging, egg yolk and fucking running steps in the morning in a gray sweatsuit. Like whatever he has to do, as long as he's not hanging out with fucking Trevor Zegras in Mexico, I'm good. I love this. From Austin. Go Rangers because of America. I have the Rangers because I have an attachment to them. I've shared this story on the podcast. That's the team that I saw my first ever NHL game was in Madison Square Garden. I saw the Rangers beat the Leafs. It was an awesome game because they were getting smacked by the Leafs. They ended up coming back and winning it. I got to see Igor in person. I got to see Rangers fans yell at themselves and get hammered all game. I got hammered. I mean, like the whole thing was just, I was like, man, this is just awesome. So anyways, I have a soft spot in my heart for them. It's probably not a popular opinion. I don't see a lot of crossover when it comes to Kraken fans and people that root for the Rangers. I don't give a fuck. It's who I root for, and I have my ties. So Austin, dude, fucking, I feel like McConaughey and Wolf of Wall Street with you, brother. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're good. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. This is a great question. Okay. I was not expecting to answer like some serious shit, but if y'all want to have this conversation, let's do it. The truthful answer is I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. If I'm telling you my gut answer, my gut response, yes. Now, that's not me making any promises or having some insider information or anything like that. I know absolutely nothing. In fact, I am again, I just mentioned this a couple minutes ago. I am working on setting up some Seattle Kraken's like a post-season wrap-up interview. It will be with a media personality. I am totally okay asking this question for next season. I don't know if they will know either. But my gut's telling me yes. But I also think that is very contingent on what happens this offseason because, as we talked about in this week's episode, which I encourage everyone to listen to, there are a number of contributing factors that lead me to believe that this offseason is going to be a massive one for the Seattle Kraken. I cannot say that enough. I think this team is due for a massive makeover. Get ready for shit to start happening because it needs to happen now. So that's where I'm at. Megan just was like, yeah, dude, Matt Boldy did get in the way of Joey Decord potentially scoring that goal. And now I'm annoyed at myself because I had Matt Boldy on my fucking fantasy hockey team, which crushed all season. And then as soon as my team hit the playoffs, we all fell apart. So basically my hockey fantasy team is the Bruins from last year. Built for the regular season. As soon as playoffs start, just shit the bed. So that's a great analogy. All right, here we go. What up, Michael? It's been a hot minute, man. It's good to see you on here. All right. It was, and I genuinely hope that both sides of his pillow are warm. Dude, that's the fucking worst. Legitimate the worst. I like how people are just laughing at Michael being like, that's amazing. Classic Turbo. Could not agree more. And again, this is us talking about him taking like fucking nasty slapper at the end of the game and just going down. I mean, it's like, dude, the boys are playing for nothing but pride. And Turbo's out there laying his body on the line. Now, however you feel about him is however you feel about him, but I don't know. After, you know what, for me, it's this. It's after a season of underperformance and a lot of times just seemingly the team not giving a shit. To see something like that in the last game when they're not playing for anything, I think went a long way. And I do appreciate that. So I think that's something that we can all take away and feel good about. So that was the block that this fan base needed. Love Turbo. Dude beats up on his brother for fuck's sake. I mean, yeah, but Chris Tanev is also with Dallas now, and that might have been the one piece that they needed to kind of take him over the hump. So if anyone else here needs a reason to root for Dallas, there you go. All right, Michael says, I have to start getting ready for work, but it's super cool to watch this team. We are due for a complete overhaul. Turbo, Eberle, Yanni, Gord, Burke, Tatar, Tolman, a few others. Yeah, there's going to be a massive, massive change with this. And by the way, Michael follows up with everyone there is on watch. Now, I do not have the list of UFAs and RFAs, unrestricted free agents and restricted free agents, in front of me. Again, we covered that in an episode. I will cover it again this offseason. But yeah, I'm with you 100%. All right, 1 second. I don't want to lose my voice. So I feel you on that. Yes, Melissa, betting hockey is really fucking hard. It's why we're going to start doing futures episodes. Yeah, just because it's a little bit easier. You just have to wait a little bit longer, and it's totally fine. I'm glad this got brought up. By the way, Megan's with us. She would take Talkit for Coach of the Year. At this point, and this isn't me just rooting for Jeff's bet to hit, I think he deserves it. I mean, like, legitimately, where they were last year and where they are now, and for him to do this in the one season, like, I don't know. I'd be shocked if he didn't get it. I love this comment too. Ottinger's save last night was absolutely incredible. I mean, the dude's practically completely out of the crease, and he turns around with his right hand holding the stick, and he stick saves a puck out of midair and like deflects it away from the net to save a goal. It's insane. It's like hand-eye coordination that like F1 drivers have. Like, I mean, I can't even really, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but if you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you go and Google it right now. James, I can't fully respect the Canucks as long as Tyler Myers is on the team, but I fully agree Talkit deserves that trophy. Yeah, it's hard, man. I don't fucking like him. And here's the thing. Geographically, we shouldn't like them. We should not like them. It's like the Battle of I-5, right? I mean, like, that is not a team that we should like. I want a rivalry. And after, the hit that Matty took and Tyler Myers and all that shit, like, fuck the Canucks, man. I didn't even like, it's like, fuck the Canucks. I didn't even like Jeff picking them to move on in the playoffs. I'm like, well, dude, what are you doing? But whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, dude, I'm with you. And yeah, I do think Rick Tocchet deserves that trophy. And then Jeff's going to make money. The best part is when Jeff makes money, everyone wins because he's going to keep betting. And that's the Jeff that I love. So, all right. Rempy and his minions are about to take the playoffs by the throats. Go Rangers. Yeah. I'm pumped. Like, I don't care if you agree, disagree, don't like, whatever, Rempy's game. That's fine. Have your opinion. But one thing you cannot disagree with is that when the Rangers are playing NHL playoff games on national primetime television, you are not glued to that fucking TV. He brings eyes to the NHL. The NHL is better with him on the ice. That is just a fact. Now, I don't know about you, but to watch that fucking goon in the playoffs is going to be electric. And think about the hype and the talk and everything surrounding him during the season already. Think about how elevated that is going to be during the playoffs. It is going to be a spectacle. So if you have not had a chance to watch them, I highly, highly, highly encourage it. Whether you like them or not, hate watch them. I don't care. That is what you need to do. I love this pick. Tampa Bay to win it all. Listen, they have the vets in place to do it. They've done it a number of times. This is a team that has proven and knows how to win. And by the way, that's why I just don't think Vancouver's ready. They need those playoff reps, which is why I think they lose in the second round. Playoff reps are important. Getting to the playoffs and understanding what it takes to win and coming really close, but not quite having it really means a lot. I think that example, let's take it all back to the Kraken. The playoff reps that the Seattle Kraken got last season were extremely important for this team. I just hope that by the time we go back to the playoffs again, the team is like not a complete overhaul because then I'm like, well, shit, I guess the playoffs reps don't matter. All those dudes are gone. Again, where was Matt when we needed him? He had a chance. Not dumping him and all, but I love him. But we needed it all year round. Yeah, no, I get it. But here's the thing. It's not just him. I felt that way about, I don't know, the entire team minus the goaltending. Legitimately minus the goaltending, I felt this way about the entire team. So I'm not going to sit here and get on one player, and I am encouraged by his ending to the season, his last 27 games. Again, 15 points in 27 games. Dude, tipping goal tonight, fucking sweet. Rush Anthony, what's up, man? What's going on? You're probably at work right now. So for those that don't know, another tradition here is Megan hits us up from Australia to let us know what time it is there. And then Rush is usually at work. And the dude works for Boeing. And it's good to see that they have not murdered him yet. So that's good. So shout out to Rush for being here. Yeah, don't lose your job because you're doing some Kraken Pod after dark. But dude, we appreciate you. We always appreciate you. From Josh. Maddie's a phenomenal defensive center and 17 points in the last 25 games. Oh, that was it. Yeah, 17 and 25. I'm sorry. Put him and Ryan on the team for a full year, and they'll make each other better all season. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening right now. I'm telling you right now, Wright is going to be on the Seattle Kraken roster at the start of next season. It is time. The time is right now. You know what I'm saying? You see what I just did there? Like, it's fucking happening. I'm excited. I want to see Matty get some work in this offseason. I want him to take these last 25 games, and I want him to use that as motivation to build because he is disappointed by his season. I can tell you that much. But there's a lot of hope there. We know the talent is there. We're rooting for him. We love Beers for Beniers. Dude's young as shit. There's nothing but upside here. And the way that Wright played, oh my God. Like, you thought the third line from last season was good? Oh, man. Wait until Shane Wright has a full Seattle Kraken season under his belt. That is going to be so much fucking fun to watch. So yeah. Yeah, I'm just ready. I love this topic because this topic is something that is highly debated because the organization is not going to give us an answer. They're just going to give us a captain whenever the team is ready. So 1 second, and then let's talk about this. So, and by the way, I see Melissa's comment about, I can't wait for Dunner to be back. Me too. Think about this. Look at what the team did tonight without the Dundertaker. Like, I'm so pumped. And you know what? I'm gonna say something on here that no one else aside from myself, Jeff, and a designer knows. We have been working with someone who is very, very well known in the Seattle Kraken community who does incredible work. And this individual has designed for us the most epic Dundertaker merchandise. Like, I had an idea of what I wanted it to be in my head. And this person, I'm trying to be vague on purpose here. This person took it to a level and incorporated things from the team. This is all I can say. That, long story short, I want to launch this merchandise for the start of next season. It's fucking insane. It's so dope. Like the shit that was created. Jeff and I like called each other when we got like the initial proofs, and we were just like, oh my God, like this is incredible work. So anyways, we are excited. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. Dundertaker merchandise is happening, and it is going to be the sickest fucking merch that this Seattle Kraken organization, anything surrounding anything, has ever seen. I'm not just saying that just to say it. I'm telling you right now, it's that fucking cool. I'm so excited for everyone to see it. It will happen before next season starts. Oh God, I'm so fucking pumped. Anyways, I'm excited for him to come back. To answer Megan's question, the reason why in my head that we didn't have a captain is because now is not the time for the Kraken to have a captain. That rhymes. I say that because from the very beginning, Ron Francis has been very open about like the direction of this team and taking the time to build and doing things the right way. And you can agree or disagree with his mantra, right? We could look at the Vegas Golden Knights and be like, do this. Like you see this path, do that path. The Kraken do not have that path. They're not going to start giving away, first round picks for rental player. Like they're not going to do that shit. When the timing is right, a captain will be named. It just wasn't this season. And by the way, no one's talked about this. I'm calling him the fuck out. Jeff was trying to tell me this season that the fix to the Kraken's problems was to name a captain. And I said, that was idiotic. I was right. Just saying. And he said, Joey, no offense. And this is a serious conversation we were having. He was like, no offense, man. And he was like, but I think that you believe that that's not the solution because you haven't been watching hockey for that long. And I said, Jeff, I know you're being serious right now. I could not disagree with you more. I could not disagree with you more. This team's problems go beyond just putting a C on someone's fucking jersey. And yes, I am downplaying what a captain means to a hockey team. But what I'm saying is that it was evident to me in November when I hit the panic button saying this is not a playoff team. In November, I said this team needs more than just a captain. Like there's serious issues with this team. What do I know? I'm just a hockey noob. I feel so fucking smug for that shit right now. Anyways, all right, scrolling. In regards to the Dundertaker merch that I probably have shared too much with that. Megan, we will figure it out. Shipping international is a pain in the ass. Honestly, I have shipped international on previous stuff before and just pay out of pocket. It's not fucking cheap. We will figure it out for you. I will get you a Dundertaker shirt. I am literally promising you that. If I have to pay out of pocket, I will. But we are figuring out a way to make it a lot more affordable. And by the way, the last stuff that we did was super affordable because we included taxes and shipping in the price of the merchandise. And I spent a lot of time researching that because I wanted to make sure that that the Kraken Pod fam got not only the highest quality shit, but they got the highest quality shit for like the best pricing possible. Like that was my number one goal. I was like, I don't care if we don't make any money. I don't care. And we didn't. We actually lost money. And I'm fucking okay with that. I said the entire time, I don't care if we don't make any money. I just want to make really cool shit. And I want high quality cool shit. And I want people to be able to afford it. I don't give a fuck about anything else. Jeff and I are not trying to run a business to make a fucking ton of money. We just want to do cool shit that people enjoy. And we fucking did it. And we're doing it again with the Dundertaker stuff. It's going to be awesome. And when it comes out, I will let you all know. So, Megan fucking gets it. You know what, Megan, I do recall something about you calling this team out. Again, same. You called them out in October. I called them out in November. You're reading the tea leaves. You watch every single game. You're like, this isn't a playoff team. Sorry. And Jeff's like, they should just name a captain. Everything will be fixed. I'm like, that's a horrible idea. I think I actually might have offended him at that time because I think I said to him, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. So, whatever. I love Jeff and, we love each other and it's all love. So yes, we can get combative at times because we had very different opinions on things. And he has, it's not like no one's right. Well, in this case, I was right. But at the end of the day, it's fucking sports, man. So like, it's all good. We're going to disagree on some shit. And by the way, none of that stuff is planned. Jeff and I don't go into episodes being like, okay, Joey, you take this position where you say this team sucks. And I'm going to say that they're not that bad. They should just have a captain and then we're going to fight. Like that's not, there's no pre-meeting. Like here's how it goes. I go, okay, I outline the games and I have the notes on the games. And then I say, oh, here's topics that's going on, like da-da-da-da. And then we literally see it. And then we just talk on the podcast. Like that's it. So people that fucking, you know, that's a traditional media thing. That's like an ESPN thing. That's like the, you know, the Stephen A. Smith things, right? There's pre-production meetings where they're like, hey, here's a topic. What's the angle that you want to take on this? And he says, well, everyone's going this way, so I'm going to go that way. And then people are going to be talking about me. And hey, you know what? It works because people tune in. Jeff and I are not in that business. We're just lucky that we naturally disagree on a lot of shit. So it works out well for us. All right, here we go. If the team had a true captain worthy of the C, they would have been doing the work without the C. Agree. I won't have a captain for another season or two once Maddie or Wright is ready for it. I also agree. Also, you know, I like the way that he ended this season, but Maddie isn't ready to fucking rock a C on his chest. Being a captain of a team is a serious fucking deal, man. Like he's not ready for that. So, anyways, all right. I'm getting ready to wrap this up. I love y'all, Kraken Pod fam. Last Kraken Pod After Dark of the season. I had to bring it back. I cannot thank you all enough for your support. Again, if you're here, like, hit a like, comment, fucking share this with people. Be like, hey, did you watch this? And blah, blah, blah. Like, all that stuff helps. Our goal, we have a lot of things we're working on this off season. Two things media-wise that we're working on is really building out the YouTube page, making full episodes available, and also building up the Instagram. Our TikTok is doing pretty fucking good, which is awesome. But if you can, like, let people know, hey, they're doing stuff on Instagram as well, and they have a YouTube page. So, yeah, just let people know, which you guys probably already have because you're diehards, and I love you all. So, Kraken Pod fam, I fucking love you guys. Guys, gals, everything in between. Y'all are great. And I'm going to end it on this note. To quote, oh boy, the goalie for the San Jose Sharks, it doesn't all matter because we're all going to die anyways. So, all right, guys, hell of a season, disappointing season. But at the end of the day, maybe the season was all about the friends we made along the way. So, Kraken Pod fam, Kraken Pod After Dark, I am out. But we are still doing podcast episodes. We're still going to be on Twitter every single day. Jeff and I are still doing stuff on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all that shit. So keep an eye out. Appreciate y'all. Oh, dude. And fucking Thanos popped in to say what's up before this wraps up. All right. That's it. I'm wrapping this up. All right. Appreciate y'all. Have a good night.